And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio at West Point. And we are at Branch Week, and representatives of the different branches of the U.S. Army are out to talk to some of the seniors. And we have a chance to talk to a West Point grad, Second Lieutenant Tanner Andrews. Second Lieutenant, good to see you today. How's it for you to be back?
Feels good to be back, sir. Class of 2018, graduated last year. Just finished up my training at Fort Benning, coming down here to talk about the infantry with some of the cadets. Very
good. And I see you've got a Ranger tip. So you've been through Ranger already. Tell us a little bit about the essence of infantry, about the essence of platoons, and it's still where the Army starts.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, the infantry formed in 1775. So when I graduated at West Point, I just wanted to challenge myself, branch infantry, go to Ranger School. So I came down here, went to Fort Benning, went to Ranger School before IBullock, completed the course with some of my classmates, and then went to IBullock. And there's the general timeline there. IBullock's a 19-week course. It's one of the more physically challenging branches that the Army has to offer. And the culture is pretty cool. They'll send you down to Ranger School, to Airborne School, complete your training, get you ready to be a platoon leader at your first unit.
Well, that's a great accomplishment to wear the Ranger tab and after your first year in the Army. What was it like to go through Ranger School and have the endurance and demonstrate the leadership to complete?
It was cool. Ranger School is a challenging course that challenges lieutenants and then soldiers in the Army who want to be in the infantry. The course goes through 3 phases, Darby, Mountains, and Florida, and it's pretty physically challenging. But once you get through that first 5 days of RAP week, kind of get through all those individual assessments, then it's really just working as a team, trying to be a team player, trying to carry your weight, and then that'll kind of carry you through each phase.
Absolutely, a tremendous accomplishment. Leadership is always something I hear of in the Army. You're leading soldiers, and that's really the essence of being in infantry as an officer, is leading your soldiers, taking care of them. What have you learned about how to do that in your time in the Army at West Point and now a year as an infantry officer?
So kind of coming down here, working with some of the awesome NCOs here today for Branch Week, and then at West Point, a ton of mentors of mine, NCOs. The NCOs kind of run everything within the platoon, and then as an officer, I'm just trying to get to my unit and allow the NCOs to kind of drive everything. I'll be going down to Fort Lewis for my first duty station with the 2nd Brigade there, Fort Lewis. And I learned a ton about leadership here at West Point, and then kind of taking that and applying it into the Army is kind of cool to see for some of me and my classmates.
Very good. Now, what part of the country are you from, and why did you decide to go to West Point and take up the life as an infantry officer?
Yeah, I live just outside of Chicago, a small town called Elburn, Illinois. I want to go to West Point just because I wanted to serve in the military as an officer down the road, and then join the infantry because I wanted to challenge myself. I know it's an awesome historic branch that challenges you mentally and physically, and so it's pretty much what how I made my decisions based on the different branches that the Army offers. I think it's an awesome culture. Builds camaraderie with your teammates, your classmates here at West Point too.
Very good. What did you study here at West Point?
I studied systems engineering here at West Point.
Great field. Just a final thought. The infantry is the essence of the Army, and really where so many of the Army leadership come out of from leading platoons as infantry officers. What's the most important reason that a senior here at West Point or someone in ROTC might consider joining the Army and being an infantry officer?
I think just when it comes to joining the Army in general, I would advise people if they want to serve their country, do something honorable, something greater than yourself. That's kind of why I chose to come to West Point, be in the Army. That would kind of be my biggest advice for incoming seniors from high school to choose where they want to go.
Very good. Second Lieutenant Tanner Andrews from Illinois, great to see you, and thank you for your service in the U.S. Army from everybody at the American Legion.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio at the United States Military Academy.